All right, time now for all things current in California politics. Our guest this week is Rich Eisen, editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, nice to have you back. Matt Mahan, the mayor of San Jose, has just entered the race for California governor. He's a moderate Dem. He's clashed with the governor over crime and homelessness. Does he have a legitimate shot? Does it seem like, where have you been? And is this a little bit late? We're, less than 6 months out.
Well, it's certainly getting into the game late. Now, does he have a shot? Yeah, sure. I'm sure he does. I mean, his point, of course, is that he is maybe the most, or maybe in some ways the only true moderate Democrat in the race so far. I'm sure others would disagree with him on that. But, the challenge he's going to have, of course, is name recognition. In our world, of course, he's a really well-known name. Is that something that can be said about all those voters down in Southern California? It's to be determined. He's certainly going to get a lot of support from Silicon Valley, which could be really helpful. Right. But he's got a long road ahead of him here.
All right, all that said, and I know, whenever I do this, you're like, the poll doesn't matter right now. So let's put up the latest poll for California governor and go from there on this, where we have the two Republicans, Chad Bianco and Steve. How is this possible that the top two are Republican? And I don't want to say Bianco is comfortably ahead of Porter, but if Bianco and Hilton, it's like pick one drop out. Is there something there?
Oh, I think there could definitely be something there. I mean, at the end of the day, our system is going to reward whoever does finish in those top two. This goes back to, I think, a lot of concerns that the Democratic Party has right now, and that, I think everybody in California except you and me are running for governor. And at some point, the Dems have been hammering Republicans for a year now about people over party, country over party. At some point, all these Dems that are splitting, support are going to have to coalesce behind one or two. Because they are leaving the door open to a Republican, both of whom are very strong Donald Trump supporters, to have a pathway to the governorship. And if you don't think that's causing heartburn around the Capitol, you're not paying attention.
Let's go to Tom Steyer, who is polling fifth in that poll we just put up. He's pledging now to lower electricity bills in California if he's elected by 25%. Yeah. We have the second highest power bills in the country. How can Steyer promise that? How can he deliver on that if elected?
He seems to be really focused on the idea of increasing competition and by, essentially making it easier for people to have their own generating capacity, that kind of a thing, solar and those kinds of things. He really wants to have competition and believes that that would be the thing that brings these prices down. I asked him directly if he's talking about things like breaking up PG&E, and he said no. So I'm not really sure how that's going to play itself out, to be honest with you. But that's his goal, is competition will bring down all the prices.
Well, it's a good idea, and he's got a long way to go to get elected, too. He's got some people he needs to jump.
He's also polling pretty weakly right now, so we'll see.
Yeah, okay. That is Rich Eisen, editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly. Rich, thank you as always. Appreciate you.